And Chris, Pet Shop Boys, welcome to Going Live. The first thing I have to do is pass this on to you. This beautiful bouquet of cotton buds and all sorts of things. I don't know, there's a card in there for you. What a bouquet. It arrived this morning, all in a sort of mysterious way. Yes, left for you.
These are to thank you for many years of musical delight. It's from Nikki, I think it's Guthel. Cuthell. Well, thanks, Nikki, that's fab.
There we are. Now, do you want me to just look after those for you on here?
Yeah.
Because they're such a huge bouquet. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I'll put these on here while we do the questions and save the card. There we are. Because we've got lots and lots of questions to get through. And we'll go to the phones first of all. How are you, Ben?
Very well. Actually, I've got a bit of a cold,
right.
but apart from that,
Have you got, we've looked after you with water and
oh, yes, we've had
coffee and
we've
tea.
been
Good.
Given everything.
All right. OK, well, let's go to the phones and see who is on line 1.
Hello.
Who's on line 1?
Hello?
Hello, who's there?
Stella Metcalf.
Stella Metcalf. What's your question?
Hello, Stella.
Hello?
You all right?
Yes, thanks. I'd like to know why your last 3 videos have been filmed in black and white.
Oh, God. I don't know.
That's a conceptual question.
Who makes the decisions?
We do. I think we just thought it was appropriate for the songs. We kind of like the look of it. Actually, the next one's in colour, though. Our black and white phase has come to an end now, so the next one's in colour. I think we just like the look of it, and we've done a lot of videos in a row which were like, where we were wearing costumes and there were stories and stuff like that, and they were all in colour, and we thought it was nice to have a change, but we're going back to colour now.
Does it go in phases, or does it really go with what you've written and musically? Or do you have sort of style phases in terms of videos?
So,
is it just
very
really
good question. On to Neil.
Yeah, I mean, it does really go in phases. It depends on the song, like Being Boring, we did a black and white video with a guy called Bruce Weber, and he's famous for his black and white films he makes. And Eric Watson, who did So Hard with, is a great cameraman he likes to work with, who specialises in black and white.
So it isn't entirely your decision. You'll work with a team and listen to what they have to say and bring them in.
As a collective, yeah.
Right.
I mean, we decide who to work with, and then we take on board their ideas.
Thanks for that question. Bye-bye, Stephanie. Happy Christmas.
Bye.
Let's go to SJ now. She's down here.
What do you think about the comments people make about you being boring?
Oh, we said it ourselves, so it doesn't really, bother. I don't think we are boring, really. But it's good to, to take on something that someone says about you and then kind of reverse it and actually say it yourself.
It's like throwing down a challenge, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like throwing down a bit of a challenge.
It depends what people regard as boring. I mean, I think, kind of a lot of the way rock stars kind of present themselves is pretty boring, but it's generally perceived as being quite exciting because they're jumping up and down and stuff and getting the crowd going. But because I've seen it so many times before, I find that boring, So it's all a case of degree and how much you've seen, I suppose.
I guess it's changing whatever you think has become very normal and very usual and exciting and surprising people.
We always kind of like to do the opposite, really, of what's expected.
Go against the flow.
And someone said when we were in Japan, there was a review and it said something about the Pet Shop Boys being boring. And I thought it was a really nice phrase, being boring. It has kind of ring to it. And so I guess we like to confront things that people have said about it.
So you confront your criticism and actually capitalise on the whole thing and turn it around and throw it straight back in their face.
Well, also,
I think that's rather brilliant.
We quite like being criticised, really. When people say, I like when you get a reaction like that, when people kind of don't like what you do. It means you must be having some kind of effect.
That's it, you're actually affecting people. Let's go back to the phones now. Who's on line 2?
Hello?
Hello, who are you?
Hayley Phillips.
Hello, Hayley Phillips. What's your
Hayley.
question?
Who do you think's been the biggest influence on your careers?
Bobby O, who's this New York disco producer in the 80s, and he made all these really brilliant records, and he made a few of them with Divine, who you might have seen in that film, what was it?
Hairspray, yeah.
And he made these really, really good, very kind of basic electronic disco records that kind of had a very sort of punk attitude. And when me and Neil started writing songs, he was the man really that kind of brought it all together for us.
You go along with that too,
I think so. We all have a mixture of influences. I mean, Bobby O is where we've got the real high energy electro disco sound from, and then also we were influenced when we started by hip hop and sort of rap music that was around at the time, like Grandmaster Flash. And then also we have influences of, like, I don't know, bits of classical music, and we kind of mix it all together.
And then you bring in someone like Dusty or someone like Liza, and it goes off on a different tangent.
It goes on
again.
a totally different tangent.
Yes, it's this thing of surprising people all the time, isn't it? But you'd say that Bobby O was one of the
Bobby O, we've
initial...
realised it's definitely been an enduring influence. They've just reissued all his records on a couple of CDs, and we were listening to them, and they still sound fresh now. And I mean, people don't really know them over here, but if you heard them, you would be able to see the influence of him on us.
Thank you very much for that question, Hayley. Happy Christmas. Now we've got a question from Kate. Where's Kate? Kate's over here.
Have you ever regretted becoming famous?
Not really. The way we're famous is quite easy to deal with. Some people, you know, like you get pop stars, like maybe Jason Donovan or something like that. I think sometimes for them it must be quite difficult to deal with because they get chased around a lot and they have people hanging around their houses and they don't really get a lot of peace and quiet. We seem to have a kind of fame where people maybe know who we are, but they don't really bother us. Maybe someone says hello to you on the street, something like that. But it's quite nice, really. It's never really been a big pressure for us.
Just say you have quite a thoughtful following. I'd say you have, you see, because, I mean, look at this. These lovely flowers.
I think we have, some of our following is thoughtful, some of it's quite noisy, and people like you for all sorts of reasons. Some people like you because they're like up dance records, and some people like you because they like slow ballads, or they like the lyrics, or they like the videos or whatever. People like us for lots of different reasons, and consequently we've always had a very wide audience, you know. When we did a book signing a few weeks ago, we had people of all ages came. You know, people came with their grandmothers and stuff like that.
That must be quite something to actually see face to face. You know, if you're away writing for a long time, it's not that you lose touch, but then actually to come into contact with the people who are buying your records, buying your music, that must give you such a buzz, but also actually show you who it is. It must come as quite a surprise.
It's amazing what they
get
hold of as well, because someone came up with a platinum disc which had been given to me for me to sign. I don't know how they got hold of it.
It said presented to Chris.
And you've never seen it?
So I don't know where they get these things from, but...
It had been intercepted.
Yes.
Intercepted on its way.
They get all sorts of things.
Let's go back to the phones for a call on line 3. We've got time, I think, just for one more. Hello, who's there?
Hello, it's Elliot Herman.
Hello, Elliot. What's
Hi,
your
Elliot.
question?
I'd like to ask either Neil or Chris, why does Neil always dress up when performing and Chris always dresses casually?
It's how we dress normally anyway. Maybe it's slightly exaggerated, but I've always tended to prefer wearing smart clothes.
Yeah,
And
no,
that
I
makes
agree.
you feel in the mood
It's
for
the street.
performing, maybe, and then...
It just reflects how we are. I mean, I really hate wearing smart clothes. I don't feel comfortable in them.
I don't think I really suit kind of trainers and stuff like that. I mean, I'd like to wear them really, but I do wear them at home and stuff, but I never think I look that good in them.
Elliot, what's been your favourite outfit you've ever seen them wearing so far? Because I've got one in my mind that I remember that made me laugh a lot. Do you have one? You're not really sure. Well, do you remember seeing at I think it was the BPI Awards a few years ago, and Chris, you wore a plastic Mac.
I understand you're human, Neil.
You wore a plastic Mac
fisherman's.
on stage.
The Issey Miyake fisherman's outfit.
Yeah, I thought that
Issey
looked really
Miyake
good. That
Fisherman's.
one.
It was Pack-a-Mac. Do me a favour.
It's Pack-a-Mac apart from the price tag.
Thank you very much for that question, Elliot.
Bye,
Thanks.
Elliot.
Happy Christmas. Bye-bye. Thank you both very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
And have a lovely Christmas
Same to
and
you.
a
Have a nice
great New
Christmas.
Year. And I'm sure you've got lots of exciting things planned for the New Year, haven't you?
Yes, we're doing a tour starting in, actually it starts in March in Japan, and then we go to America, and then we wind our way through Europe, including some of Eastern Europe. We're going to Hungary and Czechoslovakia. And then we come to Britain and Ireland in June.
Gosh, well, we look forward to seeing you back here then. And in the meantime, don't work too hard and have a wonderful time. Thank you both very much.
See you in the New Year.